June 6th. I'm Steve DeBerry.
And I'm Jake Craney. In honor of yesterday's sea of red that I personally saw after the tennis match in the morning, it was all downhill from there. We will be featuring a black screen behind us to commemorate that misery and loneliness.
And red wine.
And red wine, yes. And margaritas.
We've got an abbreviated show for you today. We're going to talk about a couple games we like, and then we're going to go right into our locks. So, Jake, why don't you start us off? What are some matchups you like tomorrow?
I like to beat Ferrer in the morning in 3 or 4 sets. He's a better clay court player, and Murray's having some back trouble. I think Ferrer's playing really, really well on clay. He's barreling through his opponent so far at the French. I think he takes out Murray and then puts a little bit of a scare into his next opponent, I believe would be Nadal. But I think he wins this proper pretty easily. I like the Giants at the Padres. I think the chances of them losing to a real bad Padre team 2 days in a row are pretty slim, even though it's a quick turnaround. I believe they play it. Well, no, I believe they play at 6, but I think they'll win with Bumgarner on the mound. I like the Kings to close out the sweep tomorrow. They're just too hot and they're too much for New Jersey to handle. I think why don't we go with something you like, and then I'll get some picks that we may need to stay away from.
Yeah, I like a lot of the things you like. I like the tennis. I don't like the Giants. Not that I don't like them. It's just that Richard at home, we've seen a couple of times, has really sheep slaughtered them.
Okay.
I actually like.
I believe he was the last.
That was the one that you picked. I feel like Capuano and the Dodgers, I know they're going up against the Phillies and they're on the road. I think at that time slot, I like that pick more than I like the road team going up against Richard, who's shown that he can sort of hold the fort down at home. I like the Kings to close out the series.
Yep.
And I also like the Manu Ginobili field goals against the Thunder winning margin. Okay.
If I had to take that, I would also take Manu. Although one of my things that I wrote for the show is I think if you have a decent streak, stay away from all of these NBA props tomorrow. This series is a little bit unpredictable.
Interesting.
It's close. All of these over-unders and the Manu Ginobili, I think I would take Ginobili if I was picking that, but I am going to be staying away from all the NBA props, as well as the Cardinals-Astros game, which I think a lot of people will be picking the Cardinals. I think that's a little bit of a trap game, and I would just stay away from that as well.
All right, well, let's get into our locks. Let's start with Chris. What is Chris going with today?
I have no idea. What is Chris going with?
Chris is actually locking in the Kings.
Good, I like it.
Yeah, he's locking in the Kings. And then,
sweep them, baby. Get the brooms out.
Yeah. Then we got the Streak Beasts. The Streak Beasts are locking in Manu Ginobili.
Oh.
Yeah, they're locking him in.
So Streak Beasts like that. You like that a lot. I would pick that if I was picking that prop, so I think that's a pretty good bet if you want to get that streak going.
What are you locking in today?
Rangers over the A's. The Rangers have already lost that game to the A's that they're going to lose in this series. I don't see them dropping 2 games to the A's in one series, especially with Bartolo Colon on the mound, who looks like a New York City hot dog vendor. I think the Rangers absolutely pound Oakland. I think it's one of those series where Rangers got crushed, Rangers won a fairly close game, and then Rangers crush in the 3rd game. I would take the Rangers. Absolutely no trap there.
So what's your thing against New Yorkers? You attacked Pettit yesterday. You're comparing Bartolo Colon.
I didn't attack Pettit. I just said he was old.
You attacked him.
Oh.
You attacked him. We got complaints into the show about that.
You know how I feel about R.A. Dickey. I love New York.
All right. I'm actually going to lock in Tony Parker points plus assists or tie against Kevin Durant's points. Manu Ginobili had a huge game last game, so I feel like Oklahoma City's defensive plan will shift to covering him and stopping him. The Oklahoma City defensive adjustment for last game is they switched and put Cephalosha, the 6'7" Cephalosha, on Tony Parker. Huge mismatch. The Spurs didn't know what to do. Tony Parker didn't know what to do. I feel like a day to let it sink in and figure out how they can attack that will help. I expect Tony Parker to have a big first half. Kevin Durant will get his points, but I feel like Tony Parker is going to be the key in that offense in the first half. and the plus assist is really where you get your value. So I'm going Tony Parker as my lock.
There you go. All right, well, we will be back tomorrow with a daily streak show in some form or fashion. We're going to be reformatting the show a little bit, going through some transitions, but we will keep posting content in the meantime, and check back tomorrow, and as always, follow us on Twitter.
Thanks, guys.